Former President Trump addressing the New York Young Republican Gala in Lower Manhattan Saturday night. Trump
I can only see you.
Huh?
Okay. I can only see you, Don.
Oh, that's no good.
Okay, that's fine.
Now, a new poll from the Wall Street Journal finds former President Trump beating President Biden 47% to 43%. Biden busy campaigning in California, the state where his son Hunter is now facing 9 new tax charges, including 3 felonies and 6
Give me like
misdemeanors.
60 today, high 50s.
Yep. The majority of the money
Just pull the rain off. I can actually get some stuff done in the yard
An Ivy
today.
League school losing a controversial
It's supposed to
leader.
be not raining
President of the
until 2
University of
o'clock.
Pennsylvania,
Right,
Liz
yeah.
McGill,
About that,
resigning
yeah.
after a huge
It's already pretty wet
backlash.
out there.
Donors, alumni, and students have been pressuring her to step
So,
down.
where do you
after
live? You
her
live,
performance on Capitol
Oh, wait a second. Are you filming, Joey?
unable to answer her
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
about anti-Semitism on campus. Her comments sparking public outrage. 2 other university presidents at Harvard and MIT, who were also at that hearing, also facing calls to leave their posts as Jewish students come forward with their concerns about the rise of anti-Semitism on their campuses. This is USA News.
Omaha Steaks.
They have a Monday. They have a game, not this afternoon, but next afternoon, next Sunday afternoon, against the Chiefs.
Why, because they played Thursday?
Because they played Thursday. They might be able to beat the Chiefs.
Who are they playing, the Chiefs?
They're playing home.
Alright.
They might actually beat the Chiefs. I
But they
can't believe
beat,
I'm saying that, but they might beat the Chiefs.
they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, though, huh?
Yeah, yes. They might beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs, I don't know what's going on with
That
the
whole
Chiefs.
setup in Pittsburgh, we went and saw a Pirates game over the summer.
It's so good,
Oh,
yeah.
it's such a nice,
I love that
nice
stadium.
setup they did of rivers and stuff like that. You know, we took the Clipper over across park there, parking lot, and we took a Clipper boat. Takes you across and dumps you right there. So they got it all pretty much all set up. Sports teams.
Over the weekend, rockets fired at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. The Pentagon says there have been at least 85 attacks on U.S. bases since October 17th in the region in both Syria and Iraq. The Biden administration trying to push Congress to pass a huge aid bill for Ukraine and Israel, but Republicans say there must be money for securing our wide-open, porous southern border. USA's John Schaefer with comments from South Carolina Senator Republican Lindsey Graham, who has visited the border multiple times, unlike borders are Vice President.
Now, there's a lot of talk about the MBTA Communities Act.
Was far away from any of the chaos.
I know very little about it. Maybe we can talk about it. I don't know. I know very little about it.
I don't know a lot about either other than the housing issue.
Senator Lindsey Graham.
The commander-in-chief, Joe Biden, needs to wake up and do something about a broken border.
And a look now at some economic trends in our country. Here's USA's Lance Pride.
The wealthiest Americans are now even richer than ever. The Federal Reserve is reporting that the top 1% of earners in the United States own more wealth than the entire middle class of Americans combined. Statistics through the summer of this year indicate 26.5% of all household wealth, about $38.7 trillion, belongs to the 1% of
Multi-family
American
housing.
And
We had
I'm
to change the zoning over
USA
on
News.
stretch there.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Deutsch, and if you owe your bills and money to the IRS, I've got great news for you. Tax laws have changed. Billions of dollars are earmarked for IRS Fresh Start programs. And if you qualify, you can literally save tens of thousands of dollars. Listen, I know what you're going through. Call me if you want to speak with a tax attorney or tax professional for free.
800-284-9275. That's 800-284-9275.
Okay.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVVF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests. Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns. It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Yellow mic. And red mic. And good morning and welcome to Middleboro in Review. I am Joey Driscoll. I am joined by Don. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Joey.
And I am joined by a special guest. The co-host, one of the hosts of Silver City Meeting House. Good morning, Barry Sanders.
Good morning, Joe Dog Driscoll. Do I get to call you Joe Dog on Sunday, or is that just a Saturday thing?
You can call me Joe Dog, whatever you want. And also, City Councilor Barry Sanders as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and we'll be talking about what's going on for City Council in 2024. As a reminder, 2024 City of Taunton inaugural ceremony for Mayor, Municipal Council, School Committee, TMLP Commission, Planning Board, Zoning Board of Appeals will be Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024 at 6 p.m., which will take place at 2 Hamilton Street, which is the former Coyle Cassidy building. So that's...
So Barry, what's that make as far as towns for you starting in January? What term will that
So
be?
in January, I start my 4th term. I can't believe I'm saying 4th term. I can remember when
Start
I
your fourth, so you had 6 years in.
I got pretty much 6 years in now.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
we'll start the next 2 in January. Yeah.
Wow, congratulations on your re-election.
Thank
Yes, congratulations. So we'll be talking with Barry Sanders about what's going on for the City Council in 2024, what's planned, what the City Council might be focusing on in 2024, among other things as well. We'll get into some New England Revolution in a little bit, some year-end moves that they made, which were interesting to say the least.
Yeah, that's a word for it.
So we'll talk about that. I'm sure Don will want to get into some transportation stuff too, so we'll have that. We got some MBTA stuff, Green Line extension, having the slow zones being removed. However, some of that work is being extended. We'll talk a little bit about that and much more. But first, let's start off with our weather. Outside of our Taunton Federal Credit Union Studios at 14 Church Green, it is 48 degrees and foggy. I don't know about foggy. I guess so. 61 degrees today. Rain in the forecast. Supposed to get some pretty nasty weather over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. Today and tomorrow. High of 61 today. A high of 59 tomorrow. It's going to be cold tomorrow night, a low of 29 degrees. The sun returns on Tuesday with a high of 44. In Middleboro, it is 49 degrees, cloudy skies, a high of 61. A high of 61 tomorrow. Rain both days, today and tomorrow. And the sun returns on Tuesday. In Driscoll, Texas, it is 52 degrees. High of 65 today, sunny skies today, a high of 71 tomorrow, sunny tomorrow as well. So pretty nice weather in Driscoll, Texas. And finally, Driscoll, North Dakota. Ready for this, Don? Ready?
3.
12.
Wow.
12 degrees. It is at its low for the day today. A high of 33 today, cloudy skies. A high of 33 tomorrow with a low of 8. No rain in the forecast, but it's very cold in Driscoll, North Dakota. So we have that. I'd like to get my Today in Histories out of the way too, so we're not rushing at the end of the show to do them. We have a couple of Today in Histories. Don, you're looking at me. What's up?
No, you're just playing with your watch there.
Yeah, I am playing with my watch. I got a new watch recently.
You're just sitting there. You just
I'm sitting here.
keep looking at your watch.
I'm looking at
What's
it.
it doing? Is it doing a jig on your what?
Yeah, it's a little loose.
Is it?
A little loose, but
Yeah.
it's a nice watch. It's a green
Watch.
face with white dots
I think you got
for the 1, 2, the 4, the 5, between the 3, 6, and 9, there are triangles, and then the 12. Let me start that again. Triangle is the 12, and then the rectangles are 3, 6, and 9.
I think you gotta tighten it up, don't you think?
I will do that after the show.
Little Lucy there, right?
I might take it off later. I don't know.
Take it down to Pachico Jewelers on Monday, and they'll take a couple of them links out for you and tighten it right up.
Yeah, there you go.
So we got our today.
But you just keep looking at the watch. I was wondering if it was like extraterrestrials underneath the desk or something.
No.
Okay.
No, let's do our today histories and just get those out of the way. So we have some more time to talk to Barry Sanders today. Open phone lines today, 508-822-1106. If you want to call in, if you have a question for Barry Sanders, if you have a question for Dawn, if you have a question for me. Again, 508-822-1106 is the number. Our today histories are as follows. December 10th, 1817, Mississippi becomes the 20th U.S. state. So happy birthday, Mississippi. 1901, the first Nobel Peace Prize ceremony is held in Stockholm on the 5th anniversary of Alfred Nobel's passing. 1906, another Nobel Peace Prize day in history. The U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt is rewarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his role in the mediation of the Russo-Japanese War, becoming the first American to win a Nobel Peace Prize in any field. 1953, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill receives the Nobel Peace Prize in Literature. And finally, another Nobel Peace Prize day in history, 1978, during the Arab-Israeli conflict, or after it, Prime Minister of Israel, Menachem Begin, I don't think I'm saying that correctly, Don will correct me on that, and President of Egypt, Anwar Sadat, are jointly rewarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Don, your quick thought on that. I know you do a lot of research.
What was the name of the Prime Minister?
Prime Minister Israel Menachem Begin.
Sounds, I don't know. Wow.
I don't know if I'm saying
No, Menachem Begin.
Menachem Begin. There we go.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, that because I was thinking, I remember who Menachem Begin was at that particular time. But you know it's funny too that Russo-Japanese peace treaty.
Yes.
With Teddy, you know where that was taking place?
No.
Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Oh, wow.
It's the Treaty of Portsmouth.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that, and actually they have a plaque in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, in like the downtown area. So that's some little New England history there for you.
And I know you do a lot of research into the Arab-Israeli conflict. What's the importance of those two individuals, Prime Minister of Israel and President of Egypt, and what's that getting that Nobel Peace Prize on?
Well, because Sadat went to Israel in 1977, and he was the first Arab country to reach out to and make peace with Israel, and that was he ended up being assassinated in 1981 because of that. But he started it all, and you would hope that a lot of countries are following suit. So all you can do is pray and hope things get better there.
And Barry, your thoughts on just the importance of the Nobel Peace Prize? It's pretty important.
Well, yeah, we recognize folks for a lot of different things, and it's nice to be able to recognize folks for their work in making a more peaceful world. So I'm all for it.
All right, those are today's histories. Our birthdays today are as follows. 1830, Emily Dickinson, American poet, and little known during her life. She has since been regarded as one of the most important figures in American history. Dickinson was born in Amherst, Massachusetts, into a prominent family with strong ties to its community. Born on this day in 1974, Meg White, American drummer, American former musician and singer, best known for being the drummer of the White Stripes with her former husband, Jack White. She's credited as one of the key artists in the garage rock revival of the early 2000s. She has won various awards as part of the White Stripes, including 6 Grammys. Rolling Stone included her its list of 100 greatest drummers of all time in 2016. Passings on this day: 1920, Horace Elgin Dodge, American businessman, co-founded Dodge. 1967, Otis Redding, American singer, songwriter, and producer. 1999, Rick Danko, Canadian singer, songwriter, bass player, and producer, best known as the founding member of the band. And 2021, the passing of Michael Nesmith, American musician, the Monkees, singer, songwriter, actor, producer, and novelist as well. He passed away on this day 2 years ago.
There's only one monkey left now.
Which one?
Help me out, Barry. Who's the last monkey left? Mickey Dolenz.
There you go.
Mickey Dolenz. The rest of them all passed.
All right, it's 7:18. We're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Barry Sanders. We're going to start off with what is on the docket for the remainder of 2023 and the early part of 2024 when it comes to City Council. I know that the inauguration is coming up on the 2nd. Talk a little bit about that too. But open phone lines today as well, 508-822-1106 if you want to talk to Barry Sanders. If you have a question for him, or if you have a question for us, me and Don. We'll be right back here on WVBF 1530 AM and 99.7 FM. Okay, here we go. Great. Wait for a second.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and they are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies. You should reach them at 508-588-1495.
How's that going?
What?
Did he give you an update on how that's going?
Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5.
Work
And 8 to 4.
they're doing?
When I drop off on the 27th,
Today, you will
26th,
not be disappointed.
the
508-583.
the pot wasn't in yet,
Okay.
so he said maybe by midweek. So I'm figuring it's ripped apart now. So he's gonna find me a pumper. I guess. So, I don't know. So we'll see.
Our mission is to support those who have defended our country in freedom.
Until then, you're going to give my truck a workout.
Well, it's good that someone's driving it, but that's going in for the steering box on the 5th.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get that taken care of, and then we'll get the
That's
door,
going to get done.
and then we're gonna take a ride to the welding place and have the cabin also, and then get the stereo
And
ready
then
to go.
it's good, yeah. Hopefully the stereo can it just.
No, we'll go see that guy.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not.
Well, he's gonna try to sell you a radio. That's probably
And probably what's gonna.
But I mean, I think you need
Speakers.
I think you need speakers, but
Yeah.
the whole idea is we'll buy speakers off here, but you know,
We don't need a radio.
we don't need a radio. So
No, we don't need a radio.
acknowledge
We need
that.
speakers.
We're gonna say acknowledge that fact, right, before we go forward. You know.
Hi,
I guess.
this is Martha Clinton.
Well, they don't want it. They want salt.
No, they're not gonna want. No, they're not gonna want
Well,
it.
Information on health,
But they'll make the money off the
lifestyle
speakers.
issues that affect you and your family. It's
All
fascinating,
right.
fast-paced, and fun as we explore all aspects of the Medicare maze. So join me for a Medicare Moment with Martha, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday mornings at 9 on AM 1530 and 99.7 FM, WVBF, your hometown radio station.
And we're back here on Middleboro in review. There goes I turn the music down and turn the monitor down so I don't have any echo. Anyway, we are here with Barry Sanders once again, and Barry, how are you doing?
I'm well, Joe. Thanks for having me on this morning. I appreciate it. Good to see you again.
Our first question for you today is what's going on with the City Council? What's going to be happening with the City Council over the next couple of weeks before Inauguration Day?
Yeah, we got 3 more meetings before the end of this term. And I think really what you're going to see is just a little bit of cleanup stuff in the last few weeks. So, for example, this Tuesday we have a lengthy police and license committee agenda, which is really because a lot of licenses for car dealerships and different kinds of businesses expire at the end of the year. So they have to come in and get approval from the council to renew their licenses. So we've got a page full of those to take care of this Tuesday, and there'll probably be another page at least in the next coming weeks. And then, you know, I don't think you're going to see any, you know, big, agenda items. Agenda actually for Tuesday is a little on the light side. And then it's inauguration on the 2nd. We get sworn in. We have to go down to City Hall on Tuesday morning to get sworn in. State law requires us to be sworn in by Tuesday at 10. Normally, inauguration is on a Monday, but with it being New Year's Day, the mayor decided to move inauguration onto the Tuesday evening. And then on Tuesday night for the council anyway, one of the things I consider to be one of the more interesting things at the beginning of this year is that we all pick our committee assignments on that night. And 2 years ago, I advocated for, and we started actually doing that live so that people can see it. It used to always be we'd go in the back room and everybody pick their assignments, and it's very much like a sports draft. Everybody's ranked in order of seniority, and you're first, you get first pick, and then it goes everybody gets one, and then you start at the top, everybody gets one, and then it just keeps going until you run out. So it feels very much like a draft. You kind of go in there with a plan, like, well, I want to make sure to get this, and I wouldn't mind having that, and I'm trying to stay away from this. And then other people start picking, and you got to kind of figure out your plan again because somebody took something you didn't expect them to take. And then it's, you know, Scott Martin joins the council, and Chris Coit will be leaving, and we'll be off and running again for another 2 years.
So that's the only change, right?
That's the only change in the council. Councilor Coit, in what I think is a pretty surprising turn of events, was not reelected, and Scott Martin, who has run a few times, not only got across the finish line, but did so with emphasis. He came in, I want to say, 5th, maybe. I was 7th, Phil was 6th. I think he was 5th.
I think it was 5th, yeah.
Yeah, he did really well, and I don't think anyone expected that result. I think, truth be told, I don't think many people gave him a chance of getting on at all, and if he did get on, he might sneak into 9th or 8th, but, you know, did really well, and give him a lot of credit. I think he'll be a nice addition to the team.
Don.
I wanted to ask you earlier, but I know you've been on, you've been almost 6 years, it'll be 6 years at the end of this term.
Yeah.
How's it still feel? I mean, this would be this would be your 4th time.
Yeah.
I know you've gone through the motions and, you know, you've done your work, you've done your job, but what's the feeling like just to get sworn in again? Is that like a out of body experience? I hate, I'm trying to put my words in it, but is there some sort of something that comes over you when you do that? I mean, something that puts you, you know, I know you have to do it's law or whatever, but I mean, is that the little special time?
You know, it is a very special time. It's, you know, not to sound too much like a politician, but it is a tremendous honor to have your community come out on the Tuesday and say, you know, these are our people. These are the folks whose judgment we trust, whose ideas and values that we share, and we want this group of folks running the show for 2 years. Imagine in your job, I'm a union guy, so, you know, once you get hired, you know, you're kind of in. But, you know, a lot of folks have the kind of job where, like, oh, you have a 2-year contract. At the end of your contract, you could be out of a job. And you got to go to your boss and say, hey, did I do well enough? Can I get another 2-year contract? And except I've got, you know, 60,000 bosses. And I got to go to all of them and say, hey, you know, if you think I did a good enough job, you know, I'd be grateful if you put me back there. And then they decide. Election day is sort of the big tense moment to find out whether you're going to be chosen. And then inauguration day, very ceremonial, and I really do look forward to it.
Yeah, I mean it's, and then like you said, you got to do all your assignments, all your committee work that day. So I mean it's kind of good you're getting it over, but it's televised, which you said you pushed for. So I mean that's it's good that the people can watch that. I mean it's very important. The whole backroom thing. I don't know. Sometimes you have to do it, but the more you can get out in front of the public, I think is better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I equate it to a sports draft, and I know that once draft season in any sport comes up, everybody's doing mock drafts. Everybody's thinking like, oh, who are the Patriots gonna pick with their first pick? Who are the Red Sox gonna pick? Who's gonna fall to fifth? And for me, that in a lot of ways, the committee selection process feels a lot like that. As I said earlier, you kind of go in with a plan. Like these are the committees I definitely want to chair. I want to be involved in. And I'm tied for third in seniority. So Jeff Postel and I will flip a coin and see who gets third and gets fourth. So I'm pretty well, I wouldn't say guaranteed, but I've got a pretty good shot of getting what I'm hoping for, at least in the first round. And then you just have to kind of look at it and figure out what's left and what holds your interest, and everybody finds a place to serve. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So, January 3rd, 2024, you wake up, inauguration day is over.
Yeah.
What is on your docket for 2024 with the city council? And either you or anyone on the city council focus on it in 2024?
So, excuse me, a lot of the work just continues. The stuff that we've been working on for a couple of years now is going to continue. We still have an issue with sort of less of the sexy stuff. People need licenses. People need permits to do things. If you've got 4 dogs, you need a license for that. People come and they have that, and then you have to kind of figure that out. The big ticket items, we still have the wastewater sludge treatment. Just like every community, we're trying to figure out what to do with all that. PFAS is certainly a complicating factor. These chemicals that we all know are pretty dangerous. We're trying to figure out how best to solve that. Solid waste in general is something every community struggles with. We're all ordering online, and we're all buying stuff that comes shrink wrapped and rewrapped and boxed, and 2 more boxes, and then a bunch of pellets, and then we just open it up and chuck it out. It's like, Christmas morning, you got 14 bags of trash that have got to go out. And then there's, I think some pretty significant quality of life stuff that we're going to have to really sort out. And some of that is affordable housing. The housing market is insane right now. And we don't really have a great response to that yet. We've been certainly giving out permits left and right, but they're all, they're not something that, Joe, if you moved out of your house tomorrow and moved into an apartment, that'd be a stretch. You're talking, $1,800 a month just to get like a little 1-bedroom apartment somewhere. That's not where a lot of people are able to afford. My phone, I wouldn't say ringing off the hook, but fairly routinely, I get calls from folks who are asking, my landlord's kicking me out because of blah, blah, blah. They're selling the house. I've been homeless. I'm trying to get into an apartment somewhere. There aren't a lot of great answers today. The housing list is literally years long. If you were eligible for housing and you filled out a housing application to get housing assistance, there's nothing out there for you right now. We have to figure that out. So, and you mentioned, I know off air, we mentioned a little bit about the MBTA Communities Act. So we've got that project being built. We've got a lot of other projects, so we want to continue to build a vibrant business community. We rely on our businesses to foot a large chunk of the taxes. So we've got to build that and continue to build that. And that's where people get their jobs from. We want to attract businesses that are going to pay decent wages and treat their employees well and be good partners in the community. So it's all of that and more. It's pretty exciting to be sitting in that seat trying to sort it all out.
Taunton has the name of Christmas City.
Yeah.
And it's something to be proud of. And I'm not sure if it's got any national recognition at all. Has it? Have you heard of any, big, national news networks coming down? Because I know they had lights on last week.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the parade got canceled because of the rain last Sunday, but that green, there's nothing like it that I know of in Massachusetts. It is. I mean, I was in Quincy a week ago, and they've really built. I mean, I think everyone's tried to up their game, but no one. No, I haven't been in every city center in Massachusetts, but I don't think anybody has a spread. We'll call it a spread, like the city of Taunton's.
It's gonna be hard. It's hard to beat Taunton.
It's always been that way, and it's just you got the mangers out front, and a lot in not to get, but not to push things, but I like the idea that you do leave the mangers out front, and it's not a problem here. It's sometimes when we put religious statues out on a city situation, you tend to have them removed, and it has never been the case here. And it has a lot to do with the people, what the people want, in my opinion.
Sure.
Right? Because it's always that one guy who complains, and it seems like that's always been the case. One person complains, and then the town folds and pulls them. What do you think? What is your comments on something like that?
The lights on celebration in Taunton is, at least in New England, I'll say, one of the destination locations for Christmas. It's people drive from state to state. They'll travel for this event, and it is a wonderful evening. So for $5, you can spend the whole night just going to different shows, different performances, and there's just plenty to see and do, and it is such a great night. And people, it is considered to be, and I don't know the exact publication, but I've seen sort of publications that have rated sort of the best places to go for a Christmas display, and Taunton is one of the tops in New England. And we have a varied display. There's certainly, you'll see Santa, you'll see the manger, you'll see a menorah, you'll see, lights. It's a great display, and the community really does come out to support it. And it's a proud moment in Taunton to have that all going on.
It makes me feel good that you can have all those displays without problems. It's just, because to me, that's what Christmas is all about. And you get a little bit of everything. It's not like it is really fascinating to see, just to drive by there at night and loop around the green and see all the lights and all the people, all the people who worked very hard to put it all together.
Yeah, AJ Marshall and our our Park and Rec crew just do a phenomenal job. They're out there. I think day after Thanksgiving, they're out there getting that. Actually, before Thanksgiving, come to think of it. So it is a long process, and it's not just the green. You go out to Church Green as well. You'll see Santa over there. First Parish Church gets involved. They do a display on their grounds. The History Museum does something over at their place. The local businesses all decorate their windows, so it's not even just the city, but all the local businesses. They're all painting their windows. They're all involved. They open their doors and allow the performers to come in, or they will have free hot chocolate or, snacks and things on the night. In fact, I just noticed we were down there. Christy and I went on Friday night, I think it was, maybe Friday night. And Mimi's, the diner, was open selling hot chocolate on the night. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's still open, it'll be there until after Christmas. So take a ride down, park the car if the weather's nice, have a little walk around. You never know what you might see.
I want to mention that the Dighton Fire Department will be accompanied by Santa as they go on a tour of the town today, this morning, December 10th. In the event of rain, Santa's tour will be rescheduled to Sunday, December 17th. It might rain today, but I don't think it's raining right now.
Not until 2, right? Not until 2 o'clock.
Well, I don't know. Yesterday they said not till 6, and now they're saying not till 2. But it was pretty damp this morning when I walked out.
It is damp outside. Santa's journey will begin at approximately 9 a.m. this morning, if it still does go on. While the exact timing of Santa's arrival on each street in Dighton is hard to estimate, residents are advised to listen for the sound of sirens and air horns as an indication that Old Saint Nick is on his way. It is important to note that there are 2 separate routes for Santa to follow. Please do not contact the Dighton Communications Center to inquire about Santa's location, as this could potentially hinder their ability to respond to emergencies. The annual tradition of Santa on the fire truck is made possible by the efforts of volunteers from the Dighton Fire Department, Dighton Fire Association, and the Dighton Lions Club. The Taunton Fire Department will have their annual Santa ride, and it is set for this upcoming Saturday, December 16th. His combination sleigh and fire engine will leave Taunton's downtown Central Station at 8 a.m. Saturday. The Grinch will be followed close behind, collecting new toys for the Marine Corps holiday, Marine Corps' Toys for Tots program. Visit and like the Taunton Firefighters IAFF Local 138 Facebook page. There will be a link posted just before Santa leaves the station this Saturday. You can track him throughout the day in real time. Thank you to all the amazing volunteers who bring this magic to the city every year. And you can track Santa for real this Christmas Eve on NORAD Track Santa. I've done that a couple of times.
You've done it every year.
Yeah.
You've done it
It's fun.
I'll tell you one thing about that Toys for Tots thing. I mean, the state police have a lot to do with that too. I know that you can go to a barracks and donate a toy. Little story behind that. This was like 2009, 2010, 2011. Those 3 Christmas seasons, I was running freight from Norton, Mass to Albany, New York, and it was a night run. And I'd always I never really liked to work because I didn't do the oil business, but I'd say give me one Saturday in December, and I'll do a run for you. Hopefully it doesn't snow, but I get snow every time. And I always pull into the Westfield State Police Barracks on the westbound, and always coming with a toy. For those 3 years, I always made sure of that, and I always took the ship because I wanted to do that, and I wanted to be the Westfield Barracks because it's the last. Because there's 2 barracks on the state on the Mass Pike. You got Natick, and then you got I think they got one in Charlton, but that's on the eastbound side. So you can pull right in. I walk in, I see the trooper, give him the toy. They thank me, and I'm on my way. But that's just a great, worthwhile situation. So thank you to the Massachusetts State Police. He was an MC in the Massachusetts Marine Corps. But I believe, I'm not sure if that's the case now, but I believe you can still drop the toys off at the barracks if you want to check it out. But back in those times, I pulled my 18-wheeler right in there, hopped in, grabbed my toy from the pad, and walked it over.
And one more thing I want to mention before we take our last commercial break is Taunton's Finest are once again selling Taunton Police Christmas patches for $10 each, while supplies last. A portion of the proceeds from the sale of the patches will be donated to the Mayor's Worthy Cause, which funds initiatives that benefit Taunton area youth, seniors, veterans, first responders, and more. stop by the Taunton Police Station, which is located at 23 Summer Street, or the Mayor's Office, located on the 4th floor of Taunton City Hall at 15 Summer Street, today to purchase a patch while they are still available. So we have that. We'll take our last commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to switch gears to our transportation topic and our sports. We're going to do sports first, and then we're going to end the day with our transportation topic. So still, we have open phone lines, 508-822-1106. If you want to call in, if you have a question for Barry Sanders, if you have a question for me, if you have a question for Don, so 508-822-1106 is the number. We'll be right back here on Middleboro Review on 1530 AM, 99.7 FM, WVBF.
Have they broken ground on the safety complex that they bought it on in April?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's work being done. I don't know if it's still demolition or if there's actually some digging going on over there.
Where's the location again?
So, do you know where the former Villa Fatima?
Restaurant?
No, not a restaurant. It's a convent.
Okay.
So if you're heading out, like if you leave here and you head out 140, that's going to go to Home Depot.
Yeah.
On the left, right before Bruce Thomas's place, he's got a law firm there. J.T. Thomas, one of the Thomases. There's a construction site across where there's a Gulf gas sign. Right across the street used to be a convent and a daycare.
Is it past the tracks on 140? When you cross the tracks, past Davis Street? Is it way down there?
No.
It's almost in the center of town.
It's just past Ingle Street. So you know Ingle Street, you take that right, there's like a gas station, car place.
Yeah.
So you take the bend over the river,
Yeah.
and it's just a little ways past that.
Oh, so almost across from the bus place. So you go over the river and then you would hook a right to go on 140 and head 140. Oh, I'm talking 140 the other direction.
Yeah, no.
This way. All right.
No, that way.
Oh, okay. All
Or
right.
you're gonna go down to Home Depot.
Oh, at Home Depot. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so there'll be an entrance there, and then there'll be like safety personnel only exit out on Gordon Owen Riverway over by the ice skating rink.
Okay.
Just so they have two ways to
Sure.
get out. But yeah, that's a big project. And, look forward to seeing that finished.
Hingham's getting one too.
Yeah.
Right on 3A actually.
A lot of communities are finally building. You know, we had, and my friend David Pottier, another city councilor, I think was accurate. The state gives a lot of money in reimbursement for schools, so a lot of communities were spending their money on building schools because it was, you'd get, you pay $2 for every $10 in construction. And now we're kind of all schooled up.
Yeah.
And it's time to start looking. Taunton Police Department has been in temporary locations for as long as I can remember.
Really?
They were over by the library in the former Armory building. They left there, they moved into where they are now, which is basically a grocery store.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. I know Middleboro was in that building forever before they got theirs.
Turn down the music. There we go. 7:46 a.m. I know. It does. It flies. We got about 14 minutes left in the show. We are going to divide that. 7 minutes for sports, 7 minutes for our transportation topic. So let's start right now with our sports. We got two big New England Revolution things to talk about first. New England Revolution have qualified for the 2024 CONCACAF Champions Cup. The New England Revolution qualified for the 2024 CONCACAF Champions Cup on Saturday, December 9th, which is yesterday, and will be one of the 10 MLS entrants in the newly expanded Continental Tournament, featuring 27 of the top clubs from throughout North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. In a 5-round knockout tournament, the Revolution qualified based on the team's 6th overall finish in the MLS 2023 Supporters Shield standings. The position became guaranteed last night after the Columbus Crew SC qualified as the 2023 MLS champion. Barry, your thoughts?
So, it's kind of an interesting thing. They didn't play yesterday, New England, and yet they managed to win something. They win a spot in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. And that's really because Columbus had already earned a spot in the Champions Cup. So when they took MLS Cup, they basically held 2 spots. So, of course, you can't have 2 spots. So it just went to sort of the next team in line, which is what allowed the Revolution to get in. Had LAFC won, then New England would not have earned one of those spots. We'll see. More than any other sport, I think, parity is an important thing in Major League Soccer, and just because you did well or did poorly one season does not mean that you can't completely have an opposite result in the following season. New England do have the distinction of being the only MLS team to ever win the former Superliga. So we do have some history at winning these competitions, but not an expansive history of winning. So it's rough for the MLS teams because February is really preseason for them. They're just getting started. A lot of the South American, the rest of the Central American and Caribbean teams, they're in the middle of their season, so they are in form, ready to go. So it's a bit of a challenge for Major League Soccer, and we'll see what happens.
Quick congratulations to the Columbus Crew winning the MLS Cup yesterday. Also, congratulations to Cincinnati FC winning the Supporters Shield this year. So the state of Ohio did very well in MLS. So congratulations to the state of Ohio there. Our second New England Revolution thing. Last week, the New England Revolution announced their 2023 year-end roster decisions. They have 17 returning players already guaranteed for 2024. 3 new homegrown players will be sent to join the team. And also, they announced the transfer of Tomas Chencelli. The Revolution today exercised the options on 6 players to bring the MLS 2024 MLS roster to 27, entering the next phase of the MLS offseason. The returning players, I'm not going to name them all, I'm going to name a few. Joshua Balma, Dylan Barrio, Noel Buck, Brandon Bai, Earl Edwards Jr., DeJuan Jones, among many others. The Revolution exercised a 1-year contract option on defender Andrew Farrell, who is entering his 12th MLS season. New England did not exercise contract options on midfielder Emmanuel Boateng, Ben Ravino, Ben Sweat, Gustavo Bo, Omar Gonzalez, and Justin Renix. Gustavo Bo, that's the big name there.
That's a tough one. Well, I'll say this, and this happened with Emmanuel Boateng last season. So what happens is they did not exercise the option on their contract, which means that they're not going to pay them what they made this past season. It is entirely possible and hopefully likely that they'll simply renegotiate some of these guys' contracts and bring them in at a different dollar amount. It also gives them an opportunity to kind of shop themselves around and say, hey, I think I'm worth more than you're willing to pay. So, maybe I'll go play somewhere else. But boy, I hope we get Gustavo Bo back in. I'm a big fan favorite of Emmanuel Boateng as well. He's a little guy, but he's speedy. I always like watching him play. And, yeah, we'll see what happens.
And this
Super
is
Draft
something.
coming up.
And this is something the Patriots have done all season long: is cut players and restructure their contracts, bring them back. Cut players, restructure contracts, bring them back. This is what the Patriots have been doing all season. And speaking of the Patriots, they won against the Steelers.
They won.
Great game. Great game. A little.
You know what?
I wasn't interested in watching the whole game. I watched one quarter.
I love the idea of playing Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is such a football town, and they won in Pittsburgh.
I was pleasantly surprised about the game when I found out what the final score was, and I was pleasantly surprised looking into some of the stats. You know, Hunter Henry showed up finally. You know, some of the other players that were missing in action all season actually showed up and played, and that's great. And they have a winnable game next Sunday against the Chiefs. Now, before you call me up angrily saying no, they don't have a chance. The Chiefs are 8-4, and the Chiefs have struggled all season long, and I'm surprised that they're 8-4 in the first place. And this might be a game where they're going into it just thinking, you know, Patriots are weak. We are, but we just beat the Steelers. We
at home.
We get in their home, yes. And the Chiefs have to travel to New England for this game next Sunday. This is a winnable game for the Patriots if they play it correctly. This is a winnable game for the Patriots.
You know what? I think Bill Belichick is one of those brilliant coaches out there. And, you know, it's just like, everyone's fair weather, it seems like. When your team's losing, everyone just jumps ship or whatnot. But you got to remember the fans of the New England Patriots in the 80s. When they went, you know, you got people who had season tickets back then. They weren't, even when they weren't doing well or they were losing all the time. They're definitely not fair weather friends. So, I mean, you know, Bill Belichick still has some tricks up his sleeves. I know there's a big hodgepodge of events that have to happen when we get to the Super Bowl, but let's play it out. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
The games.
Yeah, and then there's two other things I want to mention. I want to mention congratulations to Shohei Ohtani for signing a 10-year, $700 million deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers. It is the highest contract I think any player has ever gotten by a ton. Congratulations, Shohei Ohtani. I think that's a great deal for him. He definitely deserves it. I mean, he's been a great player. He is kind of like this generation's Babe Ruth, in my opinion. The way he's a great pitcher, and he also hit home runs.
Wow.
What else could you ask for?
If you get paid that amount of money, that's the business you should be in. It's hitting home run business.
Exactly. Congratulations to the Army Black Knights defeating the Navy Shipmen yesterday in a very entertaining the Army-Navy game. So congratulations to Army there. Okay, we have about 5 minutes. Let's switch gears to our transportation topic, Don. What's going on?
My Christmas present. I'm here with Barry Sanders. In 4 minutes of talking transportation. This is Christmas morning for me.
So, first thing, Green Line extension.
Well, no, come on. That's in Medford. Come on.
Well,
all right,
this is our transportation topic.
Okay.
You know, we focus on this.
All right.
Quite a lot.
The whole system.
We focus on the whole system, yes.
Okay.
That's what we try to do here on Middleboro and Review. The MBTA announced that the work to re-gauge the track along the Green Line extension will not be completed by Monday, tomorrow.
Shocking.
Which isn't shocking at all, yes, you're right. And it will be pushed back. There is no date, but it will be pushed back. Until, actually, there is a date here. It says until at least Sunday, December 17th.
That whole...
Don, your thoughts on that?
That whole scenario just disgusts me. They didn't get the memo. They No one brought a tape measure that day. You know, come on.
How do you mess that up?
I don't know. I don't know. Just move on. I'm all set.
And another thing is the MBTA is prepping a plan to expand low-cost fares. The MBTA board in January plans. One second. Let me restart that. Okay, never mind. The page decided to refresh for some reason. The MBTA board in January plans to start formally considering potential fare changes, which include low-cost fares that could benefit thousands of riders. Agency staffers are developing details on a low-income fare program that would expand reduced fare options already available to certain groups. This includes students, young adults, seniors, people with disabilities. The pending policy would reach about 50 to 60,000 riders over the first 5 years. The estimates show that there are roughly 60,000 adults ages 26 to 64 who have incomes under 200% of the federal poverty level, but have no reduced MBTA fare benefits. Slashing their fares in half could translate into $720 in annual savings for daily bus and subway riders, and just under $2,000 for certain commuter rail riders.
You wonder what the it's going to take to initiate all that bureaucracy as far as getting that. Why don't they just slash the prices for everybody, and then make disabled and elderly free? Call it a day. But what's the how much staff are they going to need to do that? How much more money is being pushed into something like that to administrate it? Why don't they just reduce the prices and everyone pays, except for handicap, accessible, and seniors. Just give it to them for free. That's what I think.
Barry,
I don't know.
Barry, your thoughts?
Yeah, anytime you draw a line about who's eligible and who's not eligible, you always end up with folks who are sort of a few inches on one side or a few inches on the other side who still need some help. I agree with Dawn that you end up having this whole process of trying to figure out who's eligible, and there's got to be an easier way to do that. In Taunton, when we give free trash bags to seniors below a certain income level, we made it simple. If you're eligible for SNAP, you're eligible for free trash bags. And I think there are other programs that do a lot of work to make people eligible for things. Why not just say, hey, if you get SNAP benefits, or if you get fuel assistance, or if you're on public housing, or if you're collecting disability, this is how it's going to be.
Right, you meet these criteria, you're in.
And you're done.
I mean, you don't need
check the box.
You don't need a whole staff monitoring this stuff.
Yeah.
And who's going to pay the staff now? Now you're talking more money to fix something that's just a situation, whatever. But I don't know. I think more people would take the T, would do public transportation if it was reduced.
Yeah.
And there's always a problem paying too. Sometimes. I mean, sometimes they don't take dollar bills. Oh, you need a card, but where can I refresh my card? Oh, you got to go to the ones. They stymie you a lot of times. They make it really tough. I mean, they should be able to take a credit card. You should be able to walk in with your credit card, and on a bus, and just run it across like you go anywhere else to any store. You buy a candy bar, and you can swipe your card or you can scan your card.
Well, this is something we'll have to talk about again when we get closer to when this is actually gonna.
Well, it's good. You do more sports because if I talk more about it, I'm gonna get all.
But anyway, that's something that they have planned for 2024 possibly. So anyway, we'll talk about that more again if we get some more information on that. But it's 8:01. We gotta go. Coming up is the Bread of Life program with Pastor Ortez Vandross, not Vandross. Vandross.
Think of Luther Vandross.
Yes,
That's what he told you. So when he was here that day, he says, "Think of Luther Vandross." You can get my name.
Apparently, I've been saying that name wrong for years.
He thought it was cute.
But anyway, that's coming up. Bread of Life is coming up, and then the roads will be after that. I want to thank everyone for joining us today.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, I appreciate coming in.
And we'll be back next week with another edition of Middleboro in Review. Bye, everybody.
That was huge. You coming in. Thank you very much.
That was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
You know? I know it's a tall order on Sunday morning.
You know, like I said, I'm up most mornings. I'm up at 5:30 and I have stuff to do in the morning. So get up and a few more Christmas decorations to put up today.
Oh yeah, nice.
I did the inflatables yesterday. I'm gonna do the lights today.
Right.
And then I noticed there was some shingles on the ground, so it looks like I might have to get up on the roof and replace a few shingles.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
As
Careful.
long as it dries off a little bit, I get that. Yeah. I haven't fallen off of this roof yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuel?